So this video I wanted to show my rearranged Colourpop eyeshadow palettes I own, and I own a lot. And I think with this kind of topic, I pretty much rearranged all the color stories from almost each of the Colourpop palettes I own. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's interesting. I hope you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, if you are new here. And to my returning subscriber, I love you. So have lots and lots of love for my subscriber who's coming back to see my video. So thank you very much. And yeah, with all that said, I will get started. Okay, so the way I'm going to be doing this is providing an original picture of what each palette looked like before I rearranged it myself. So this won't go in particular order, but you will see an original picture of how the palette looked like before. So that's just a heads up. So this one is my Frozen 2 palette, and this one is Anna. Anna is looking so good. She's looking quite brave. She's actually like one of my favorite characters from the movie. And this is what my palette looks like. So as you can see, I removed the pressed glitter and I replaced it with a light purple shade, just to represent more of Anna. I believe in the last movie she was wearing green, but I stuck to purple because that was like her main colors of what she was wearing on the second movie. And then I replaced the orange shade with the pink, just so like it could go along with the colors and make it more dainty. And so this one is Elsa, and it looks like this. Such beautiful packaging. And then this is what my palette looks like. So all I really did with this palette is I replaced the pressed glitter, and this one has a little bit of like specks of glitter, but it's not saturated, so it's pretty much like a light version of it. And I just mixed in with like blue iridescent highlighters and eyeshadows, and I just put that right there. Okay, so this one was quite recent when I purchased this one. I believe it was this year, earlier in the year, and this one is called Off Melrose. And this one looks like this. So you can see it's quite vibrant. It's got like the pop of blues. It's got purples, it's got pinks, a pop of orange. I really wanted Off Melrose to represent almost like the color story of this palette. Obviously blues represent the sky for us because most of the time it's pretty clear here. And then like these kind of color stories reminds me of like the shopping centers around LA. And you can often see a lot of colors with how they advertise, you know, their sales and stuff. So I thought this looked really pretty. So this one is All That palette. It was like a Valentine's Day palette from Colourpop. And this is what mine looks like. I got rid of this, I believe it was like a red foil eyeshadow shade. It was like somewhere here, but it had such a bad smell. And I swatched it, it was very patchy, dry, not good. So I threw that away. And pretty much I came up with like a color story that kind of reminds me of Valentine's Day. So I wanted to incorporate red, so there's red mattes here in different tones, some light pink colors here, and I wanted an inner corner of like an iridescent pink shade, so it's really pretty. And yeah, like I just wanted a rosy berry tone color story. So yeah, this one is really nice. Okay, so now this one is California Love. Now this one was really like the basic golden tone, neutral color story situation, so it's going to look really different for me because I live in California and I wanted this to represent California. So this is my palette of what I thought it should have looked like. So like obviously I wanted to incorporate the Laker colors. Basketball, that's a huge thing for us here. I also grew up watching the Lakers with my family, so it holds a really special place in my heart to have a little bit of representation of Kobe Bryant. So these are his colors here. I wanted to represent like Dodger blue colors, so this, and the ocean too from the beaches. Some orange tones because obviously California poppies are orange, so there's some oranges here too. Sequoia, this color was here, but Sequoia National Forest, their tree trunks are like this color right here. They're more like a burnt brown rusty color, and this was like the closest one I could find with all of the Colourpop eyeshadow palettes I own. So yeah, like Diego, I think it represents San Diego, and so yeah, so it's just like really happy with this color story. I removed the pressed glitter from here as well and created like my own duochrome in it as well. So yeah, like I'm really happy with this one. So now this one is the element of surprise, and I don't know, like this is what mine looks like. Mine is pops of blues and this way, think it's called vertical. Vertically, this is the blue side. This would be the mauve pink side, and this would be the plummy purple side. So again, no pressed glitters, and it matches the theme to the color of this palette. So yeah, like they're all a mixture of like the previous palettes I had. I think this one is from Lilac You a Lot and On Cloud Blue palettes, and this one, so I'm not sure, but they look like it is from there. So next is You Had Me at Hello, right here. As I was saying, this one is You Had Me at Hello, and I replaced a couple of them to make it more into a cool tone purple palette. Yeah, like these two are like gold shades right here. Some plumminess, some neutral shades. This one right here is a duochrome, which is really, really pretty. It's really nice. So, yeah, like, yeah, this one is really stunning. Love this one. Okay, so now this one is the Lizzie McGuire collab, What Dreams Are Made Of. And all I did with this palette was replacing the pressed glitter with a pink shade, while the rest of the colors I kept. Such a pretty palette for like spring, summer. But I think overall you could wear this palette with at any time of the year. You have like this beautiful duochrome shade right here. Super pretty. Okay, so now it's my Good Sport palette, and I've kept some shades, but overall I rearranged them to make it look a little more like a autumn vibe. And I also wanted to incorporate like the greens here. You could see I wanted to put a splash of duochromes in here, a row of yellows, because I kind of see those more during the autumn season. This pop of orange for like pumpkin spice, and yeah, like yeah, this color story is very vibrant, very bold, but at the same time I feel like I could create subtle looks with it just using like kind of like these shades right here. So this is a recent one from Ulta. This is a Sonic Bloom, which is super beautiful. Now I think the issue with Colourpop is that they like to bring out a lot of neutral brown shades into their palette. So basically, like, that was what was happening with this palette with these three shades, and I just replaced them with how it looks to me with the cover. Like, I do see the purple. They didn't have it here. There's a pink. And I think this one's like a duochrome as well, which I really enjoy in palettes. So, now this one is a limoncello, and so happy my boyfriend does not have those cards. Oh, okay. So the thing with limoncello, there was again several brown shades I didn't want to have in this palette. So this one has like a pop of pink. There's like this duochrome here from Luxie. Fortunately, like, this palette is like the big pan sized one, so I was able to fit like my regular shadows into this one. And I wanted an inner corner for like the yellows here. I also wanted another inner corner, but this is like a duochrome. It's like, let me swatch it. This is Luxie's, okay, last two palettes. Okay, so this one is a Garden Variety palette, and it's this one right here. Here's what mine look like. So again, like, there's just slight tweaks with this palette. I wanted to have like more of like a green color here. There's like a pink shade right here. I believe this one was from a Too Faced eyeshadow palette, so I put that there. Yeah, I made it more vibrant with those eyeshadow selections. Okay, now the last one is Hocus Pocus, and this one is a dramatic difference between the original, and it is restocked if you wanted to purchase this palette, but this is what mine's look like. I really wanted to incorporate like the grungy greens, the plummy gray purples, these duochromes right here. They're really stunning. They are from the Too Faced Life is a Festival eyeshadow palette. The eyeshadows were really small, so I got to depot them and put them here. And then you got like some grunginess of these shades right here that are really beautiful for autumn looks. So basically, like, this whole row, I revamped it. I removed the pressed glitter, which I believe was right here, but yeah, like, I made it into my own to make it more of a Halloween palette of how I viewed the movie. And like, example, this one's called Full Moon. It was just like a regular beige shadow, but this one is a duochrome of like a purple blue shift, and yeah, that one's really pretty. And then this one's called Brew Potion. Again, it was like so basic for a name like that, and let me swatch a couple of them because it's a really pretty palette. Okay, so this is what the swatches look like. Okay, so that is all of the palettes I wanted to share. It was quite a lot. So thank you so much for sticking with me through all of that. But I just really wanted to share like this concept, like, because it's nothing new to rearrange color stories, but I think it makes it more exciting if like you find that the eyeshadow pan could be taken out from the palette, because luckily with Colourpop they're magnetic palettes, so I'm able to take them out carefully and just place them where I want them to be. And considering that I have a lot of Colourpop palettes, I was able to do this kind of concept, so it's just a fun way to make my eyeshadow palettes more fun to use. I really noticed that Colourpop eyeshadow palettes in particular has a lot of neutral brown shades. I remember taking that out a lot from almost all the palettes I showed. Like at least each one had like a tannish brown shade, and I just don't really like them. I like them for transitional, but not for every single palette. I mean, that's a lot of brown shades, so pretty much I got rid of all of those and I just replaced ones I found more pretty to look at, and I know it'll create so many pretty eye looks that I feel like I would use over and over again. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I'm wishing you a very safe day or night, whatever time you're watching. May God bless always. Continue being safe, and take good care. Stay healthy. Stay blessed. Stay good for your well-being. Thank you again, and I will hopefully see you in my next one. Bye.